All right, Ted here from BigGoofyRunner. Time for a quick recap of week 7 of Dopey Challenge training. It was an interesting week. Maybe not quite in the ancient curse slash blessing of may you live in interesting times, but it was definitely interesting. So, what happened this week? So it was unconventional, but got my miles in, so that's good. Started off with a 7.3 mile run outside, country gravel roads, beautiful day. I think I talked about it a little bit in the last blog. Very nice. It was really very nice to have that nice run outside. So that was Monday. Tuesday, I had a 4 mile scheduled, but I didn't run it. I didn't do it. I was still feeling that gravel road run from the day before. So instead, I went out, took my daughter and our 2 dogs, and we went out for a walk and stretched the legs, worked the legs out a bit, had a little daddy-daughter time, and yeah, I blew off the run. Then on Wednesday, our son had some dental surgery going on, so that day was just wonked. So the 7 miles that were planned that day just didn't happen. So that's fine. That's life. That's got to be there for the kids. That's what the whole point of this is. And then Thursday, I actually managed to run my scheduled run on Thursday for the first time in weeks. So I got 4 miles in. Not bad run, so that was all nice and done. So that's good. Then Friday did not run. And then we got to Saturday, and I had a 7 mile scheduled, but decided in the end that the wife and kids were at curling, so they were out of the house for a few hours. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do my long run while they're out and about instead of waiting to do it Sunday. Well, just do it on the Saturday and get it done. So I did 11 miles instead of the scheduled 7. That was a pretty solid 11 miles. That was good. I was glad I got a long run in after missing last week's. Glad that was in there. So that was good. Then going into Sunday, I figured I would, because I was switching Saturday and Sunday, probably had to do a 7 mile run on Saturday. Legs certainly weren't feeling it first thing in the morning, so instead I went out for a walk with the dogs, did a longer run there, or longer walk there. So that was good, and then got back and we headed off with the kids to the local Comic-Con and spent a few hours wandering around there, working the legs a little bit different than normal. So that was interesting. Kids loved it, so that was awesome, and they got to dress up, and so excellent. That was fun. Got back after that, and didn't really think I had time to do a 7 mile run then, and I wasn't sure really how my legs were going to do after basically walking around on a convention center floor for that long, and they're just too beat up. So I did a 4.4 mile run outside, which was great. It was darker out, and I haven't done a night run or run outside at night in a long time, so that was interesting. That was fun to do that for a change. So that was good. But yeah, so it was a good week for running. Not conventional, not in the order I would have planned, but it worked pretty well. And I'm going to be looking at doing the Saturday-Sunday swap as I go on, because that seemed to work really well. I think I might do that and do my long runs on Saturdays instead of on the Sundays. See how that works. I've got to sit down with a pen and paper and kind of work that out and see what that looks like. But that was very convenient anyway. So see how that goes. One thing I did really notice this week was the differences between my treadmill runs and my outdoor runs. I've always been a big treadmill runner. I've been a big runner, big in general, but I've always been kind of a proponent of treadmill running because you can set a solid pace, you can push yourself, you can speed up, you can slow down, you can do speed work very easily on a treadmill, and I've really enjoyed it for that. And ever since I really started running, even 15 years ago, that kind of thing, treadmill running was always a major part of my running. So usually what I'd end up doing is I'd do weekday evening runs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on the treadmill. That's where I get my speed work in, I get my hill work in, and all that kind of stuff. And then Saturdays and Sundays were always outdoor runs. When I'd get my longer runs in, especially up to my 20 milers and things like that, were always Sundays. But I never really noticed any major difference between the effort required to run outside or run on the treadmill. Always was fairly similar for me, using gym treadmills or the home treadmills I've had. Usually compensating, giving myself a 1% incline on the treadmill to make up for lack of wind resistance and all that kind of fun stuff. But I've never really noticed that big a difference, or nothing that I couldn't just adapt to quickly and just get over. But I'm finding this treadmill we got a few years back, it beats the hell out of me. And I haven't really been able to figure out what or how, but I really saw in the numbers this week what that looked like. When I ran outside, I easily ran 10% faster than I could comfortably run on the treadmill. I was faster outside than I was on the treadmill. That is the exact opposite of what happens with most treadmills. Most treadmills, it'll lie to you, and you'll be running way faster on the treadmill than you really are, or what will really equate to an outside run. So it was very interesting to see that my outdoor runs, I was stronger than what the treadmill was telling me. I don't know what to think about that right now. I'm still trying to figure that out, see why that is. I've got to look and see, maybe I don't have this treadmill really well leveled or something, and it's got more incline on it than I really realize. Something's weird. I got to figure this out, because it's driving me mad, because I need to understand that the treadmills, what the treadmill actually will equate to when I go and run outside, especially with Dopey Challenge coming up. There's a lot of outdoor running going on, so I need to figure out how those things kind of work together, what that equation is. But it's very interesting, because this treadmill's beaten me up for years, and now I'm actually able to see, now that I've fallen down far enough, I've gotten low enough, and I'm not as good a runner as I used to be, I can't really compensate, and I can really see what that difference is. And apparently that difference is about 10% right now. So it's pretty interesting. So we have to see what that looks like as I go forward, and I'm going to definitely be watching that. But anyway, that's all I've got for weirdness this week. But yeah, please, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for any of the interesting times ahead. All right, thanks for watching.